Hello. It is June 30th, 2025 at 7:02 p.m. and I am here with my guest Takuma Okada. Hi.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself to our lovely audience?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Takuma. Any pronouns. I am a tabletop game designer and musician, composer, um, who makes stuff under the name No Road Home.
Hell yeah, I would love to hear about your composing. I don't know if I knew about that.
I actually just did a thing for a game jam. I literally, while we were getting set up, updated my itch page because I remembered to do that. My partner, uh, Moth has been making Game Boy games using GB Studio, and I've done some music for them. I've done music for Guardian Frame Debrief about a mech pilot and her mech who are in love, and you get to do a little dress up game with the mech.
Oh.
A little flirty. So I did music for that, and then she just did a cyberpunk game jam. Um, and the game is called Citizenry, where it's citizen colon RE about decommissioned robots who are granted citizenship in a city that has equal rights for people and robots.
Oh, I've seen
Um,
this. I
oh,
meant to
have it?
play this at one point. Yeah, that looks sick as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. I've been posting about it, but we actually got second in the jam, and I tied for first for music. So
Hell yeah.
um, yeah, go check those out.
Check out both
I
these
yeah
itch pages. Check out Takuma's and Moth's.
yeah.
This can be
That's
done.
mothtown.itch.io.
Hell yeah! This is something I did not know about until getting here. Um,
Yeah, I've also, like, done some, commissions for, like, tabletop podcast openings and endings and things. Actually, there was an anime podcast too. I've done commissions for people's, like, campaigns and stuff, so a thing that I haven't done as much of recently, but that I used to do more and I'm kind of getting back into.
that's really sick. This might be a question that's like only interesting to me, but what is your uh like what sort of style do you work in, and like what is your kind of workflow? Because I'm always because I also do like some very simple synth composing, so I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I just tend to use, like, instrument samples. I
Okay.
started out on, like, Soundtrap and LMMS, which is a
Yup. I use
free.
LMMS.
Yup. I have a lot of fondness for LMMS.
It's pretty good.
It's alright. I had made some music that I was really proud of on it. I've been playing piano since I was little, started, like, piano lessons at 5 years old, that kinda thing.
Okay.
So I often will, like, work things out on, my keyboard and then kind of, like, mess around in the DAW with, like, some basic components figured out. But it really depends. Um, yeah.
Hell yeah! Funnily, the Dovecote theme was made with LMMS. I'm now
Oh,
remembering. Yeah,
shoutouts to LMMS. If you need a free DAW, you should go check that out.
yeah.
Hot tip.
Well, uh, a deeply interesting aside that I didn't quite know we would be getting into, but I'm very delighted to get into. But I think a lot of people, at least my sense would be, a lot of people would know you from Stewpot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am most well known for Stewpot and for Alone Among the Stars.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we finally finished up that book this year. Um, Back in February, we had the full public release. Book's out. I'm done. I'm done with it. Um, I've been working on that since 2018, so it feels really good for it to be done. And I'm kind of in between, sort of in between, a big project right now, trying to figure it out, next steps, that kind of
Neat.
thing.
Um, Something that I've been really curious about, because I've actually talked about it a couple times on this show, and I've been I think at first I was a little cynical about it because I um I suppose I was anxious about the fact that Stewpot was not available for a time. Um, but I think as I saw the thing that you were actually making, and the sort of way you were paying folks back for initially being involved with the game, I softened on it quite a bit. I'm curious, like, because it's I as far as I understand, a really unique process, but by which like Stewpot kind of metamorphized on itch. I'm really curious about like how that happened, and what the steps were, and like what the thought process was.
Yeah, so Stewpot is owes its whole conception to itch because it originally, the first idea I had for it um was written for a Friends of the Table fan game jam
It always comes
on
back to Friends of the Table. It
yeah.
always comes back to like Friends of the Table fandom. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, yeah, that's where it started. And I started making games, like, not long after I started listening to that podcast. Like, I had started making games before that, but, like, that really kind of unlocked it and made it so much easier to, because it really kind of expanded what a game could be, and it let me make, like, really small games. And I started off with, like, it was just going to be like a roll d6, there's 6 prompts for a thing that can happen in this short little game thing that just spun out into a bigger game. Over time, I think, like, over the course of that year, 2018, I, like, slowly kind of figured out what the shape of it was, as a bunch of mini games. And originally, it was going to have 2 different, uh, gameplay modes, I think pulling from Spindle Wheel, which has both kind of short form and long form, like, campaign modes. And I was inspired by that, I'm pretty sure, and wanted to do the one shot version, which is the version that exists now, and also a more
Mhm.
kind of standard campaign long form. You start with a lot less stuff and you, like, slowly accumulate money and, like, buy more experiences and things and build out your tavern. Um, Eventually, some friends talked me into just doing a shorter version, but I do think about that longer version
To
sometimes.
what degree did that exist? Like how finished was that when you kind of pulled the plug?
Um, it's not very. I never play tested it, but honestly, it doesn't really need that much work from, like, you could theoretically do it as it is now. You would just, like, you would just start with one adventure experience and one town experience, um, and all the same other stuff, and you would just get coin at the end of certain mini games, and you could spend that coin to get more experiences or upgrade the tavern, and the tavern upgrades would also cost money.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, it's fine. I think if I want to do a more long-term campaign game that has mini games, I would not want to do Stewpot. I would want to do something else, which is, in the mix of things that I am working on for my next, like, bigger game project.
Hell yeah. Do you want to talk about any at all about what things you're working on right now?
Yeah, the first one that I have, like, actually talked about at length and, like, play tested is also from around that period, like 2019. I started talking about this game called A Blade Breaks, which was inspired by uh, Breath of the Wild and
Hmm.
Monster Hunter and durability systems, and also by, like, characters in manga and anime that use a lot of weapons. Um, There's fucking Mifune from Soul Eater and Munakata K from Medica Box and what's her fucking fairy tale woman with all the weapons?
I wish I
There's
knew.
a yeah.
Samurai Jack from season 6 of Samurai Jack.
Yeah, sure, sure, yeah. Um oh that made now I'm thinking about the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars and General Grievous.
So fucking sick.
um but yeah, I wanted to do that in tabletop form, and when I tried working on it initially, it just didn't click, it didn't feel good. I was trying to do like um very crunchy, kind of belonging outside belonging-ish type stuff. Some other things I've gradually whittled it down. It's become an other kind dice thing, and that's the version that I play tested at Big Bad Con this past fall, and that's the version that I'm kind of refining. Um, and I'm hopefully going to start playtesting it more widely, openly soon.
I was also a big bad con, so hopefully if they do another one of those, we can say hi. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that sounds cool. What do you think? Kind of because you're kind of saying like you tested it once and it didn't quite work, and you've kind of changed things. What do you think changed between then and now that like kind of allowed that to work this time?
I think the big thing is the map drawing mechanic. Um, and that plus the other kind dice thing, because I think the dice placement with the other kind dice thing feels really good and works really well in combat. Um, the thing that it's set up to do right now is that if any of you have played Run or any kind of other kind dice thing, there is a uh, kind of dice mat, and there's different boxes that you can place dice on. You roll a dice pool and then you choose which ones you place on which thing. I also use this mechanic for Sliced in Stew Pot, the cooking game.
Right.
Um, and for Blade Breaks, it's pretty simple. There is an attack box, a defense box, an assist box, and the last one, I'm not sure if I'm making it movement or durability or if I'm getting rid of
Hmm.
it. This is kind of the last kind of major step I need to figure out before doing a bunch of playtests again. But basically, for like attack on a 6, your attack succeeds. On a 4 to 5, your attack succeeds, but you lose 1 durability. On a 1 to 3, your attack fails. And if you don't place a die on one of these boxes, it's a 0. It counts as a 0, your attack fails, and you lose a weakness that you have uncovered on an enemy.
Okay.
And then it's like similar kinds of things for the defense box and assisting. Assisting in movement are more lenient. They're like slightly more optional feeling. They don't have a penalty if you don't place a die on them. Um, but with like assisting, it's 5 to 6. Assist an ally, they can take a bonus action. 1 to 4, you defend an ally so they can take a bonus action, but you lose 1 health. Um, and yeah, it's a combination of this dice placement thing, which I think has a good mix of crunchy and narrative, and like is still moves fast enough. Um, has good pacing to it. Felt really good to do the fights when we were playtesting at Big Bad, which was a slightly different version of this, but very similar.
Okay.
And the other thing, which is before every fight, the kind of premise is that you are people of this land who are being run over by two kind of feuding imperial powers. There's been a schism in the court and they're now like fighting.
Hmm.
Uh one of them is like fled to this island that you're all from, and the other side has kind of chased them here, so they're kind of ruining this fucking island that they've never cared about in the past because of this. And you're trying to figure out how to fight back and get them out of here. Um, but the thing with that is that the territory is familiar to you, so you get to draw the map before every battle. You can kind of force
Oh,
them to
okay.
fight you where you want them to. So to start every fight, each person gets to add 2 details to the map, which can be um, so I have like example environments. So, if there's a forest, there can be a dead tree which can be knocked over with enough force, and there are hanging vines that you can swing on, or creeping vines that you can climb, or tangled roots that make the footing really treacherous. And you get to add these kinds of details, and then interact with them during the fight.
That sounds sick as
It
fuck.
Yeah, it's been really good. That
Yeah.
combined with the dice table thing and, yeah, the durability, it's been really good. It feels good. I'm, like, enjoying it a ton as combat, which has been a difficult thing in tabletop games for me, so, um, I'm hoping to get it out into the world soon.
Hell yeah. Um, oh yeah, a question I want to ask you because it's
Mhm.
uh, a friend of the show, Aaron Voigt, made a video essay about stew pot. Did you like it? I don't really know what my question is. Did you like it?
No, yeah, I love it, right?
Hell yeah.
We played some games together. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fuck
No,
yeah.
it was a good video. I feel bad for cursing. I guess that's no longer true because I think he did a going rogue video, or was it Galactic that has done better numbers wise, I think, since then. But I felt bad that there was like a D&D fantasy type video that had to be posted to do well, and
Oh
yeah,
right, yeah,
we laughed about that. But, like, yeah, no, it was a fine video, like, it was good.
yeah. I should watch that. I'm gonna put that in put that in the chat. Watch that video. Don't watch it now though. Watch this. Watch that video in like, you know, some amount of time.
Yeah, save it for later.
Save it for later.
We have Aaron emailed me years ago, for
Oh god.
oh,
Sorry, that was no. I don't think the audience heard that. But all right, go
okay.
ahead.
Um, to get a review copy of my game Chess 2 Kingdoms,
Oh,
which was one of the first videos on that channel, I believe. Um,
fascinating.
kind of do a video about that. So yeah, we've been kind of in touch for a while, and it was really cool to kind of like uh see how, I mean, both of our work has evolved since then, in a video. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the really kind of fun things about uh, TTRPGs being like so young overall, especially like indie stuff is just like there are a lot of connections between people that kind of, I mean, for better or worse, right? But like I think for the most part it's I've experienced it as a positive where it's very close knit and uh, you know conversational and pleasant.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. Have you been playing anything fun recently? I'd love to ask that.
Yeah, totally. I have been, in terms of tabletop games, I have been playing a lot of Realis and Blades in 68. I have been running
Mm,
campaigns of um and really enjoying them. I'm running into some issues with how I run Blades and my group fit, and kind of the thrust of Blades in 68, but we're figuring it out. And then Realis has just been a joy to run, right up my alley. And like I've also play tested it before. Um
okay.
it's like trash can release. And I kind of struggled with it before, but coming back this time and doing a proper campaign, it's felt much better. Um So yeah, really, really happy with it finally clicking, and now that it's clicked, it is really, really easy to run and really fun, and my group has been doing some really cool shit. We're doing, like, tech wizards
Okay, hell yeah.
who work for a big company who are getting sent out to different moons to solve weird fucking magical tech problems that suck and often, use the tormented souls of some poor people from the planet's history. It's fine. It's great.
That's really good. Realis is so cool. I need to play Realis at some point. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Fuck. Um, hell yeah. I'd love to. If you want to pick a friction point with Blades 86, it's 86, right? Uh,
68.
68.
68.
If you want to pick a friction point with Blade 68 that you aren't uncomfortable to talk about on here, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I did the official playtest and submitted my feedback, so, like, a lot of this is already in like, they know, I've
Right.
said
Yeah.
this. I guess it was anonymous technically, but, uh, I think it is great if you go in expecting Blades a little more into the future.
Mhm.
It does a really, really good job of that, updating the setting, all of that, factions and how they've changed, what they've been up to. All that's great. The thing is, that's not what we were coming to the game for. We wanted to play a spy game.
Right. Yeah.
And I for the kinds of spy stories that I know and want to tell, I don't think it actually works particularly well out of the box, at least with like my background and the way I GM and things like that. And also just kind of the default setup of Blades, like the basic premise. Because the kind of, like, starting out tier 0, slowly building your
Yeah.
crew up, that's not really the deal with spies for the most part, especially, like, movies and, like, international spies and things like that, right? Like, they are part of the government, they have massive funding and all of this kind of institutional support, and the stakes are very big right from the get-go, and then the other stuff is, like, very mundane and subtle and slow. Um,
Yeah. They kind of
and I
picked
think
a pulp aesthetic that I think maybe doesn't necessarily align with the actual fantasy that the game is delivering. It sounds like.
Mhm. Well, I think that it does for everything. No, it might even deliver it for spies. I think that's just not what my
Okay.
group was coming to the spies for. Like, I think it is a very pulpy, fun, future Blades thing.
Mhm.
It's just I think we set our expectations wrong, and that's been the cause of a lot of problems, and then turns out running 2 campaigns at the same time will make you kind of run them slightly similarly, and
Right.
I think that the fit for my groups is very, very different, and I'm, like, slowly differentiating them, but I was kind of approaching them in very similar ways, and that didn't quite work for my Blades group.
Yeah. I've been in a similar spot before with running like multiple fantasy games or something where it's just like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm now like repeating the same beats. So uh, yeah, I can imagine like I don't know if it was necessarily the Blades game and the Realis like tech stuff games, but I can imagine where the overlap would happen between those two.
Yeah. Yeah, I run, like, Forged in the Dark games very reactively,
Hmm.
and improv heavy. I don't tend to do a lot of prep, and I'm usually letting the players lead a lot. Um, I mean, that's mostly how Realis works too, and especially if I'm using a lot of the stuff that's already in the book setting-wise, like, it really just kind of runs itself, and I'm just steering a little bit. Um, and I have run blades like this before with different groups. But for this one, that's just not quite the right approach, and it's taken me a little bit to adjust.
Yeah, I found that I've definitely needed to prep quite a bit for Blades, but although I also do tend to go pretty reactively. Like when I say prep, I mean like look at a couple characters and think like, oh yeah, I'll use that one for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are Natalie Pudim in the chat saying she doesn't like Blades in the Dark. I'm sorry. I hope I hope one day I talk about something you like. I'm gearing up to run Real soon after playing in a couple sessions, and a little while ago, and it looks sad. Can you clear this out? It's really sad to hear it works with that stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reals does feel like the sort of game that would really permit very like kind of on your feet jamming.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people, like, complain about how much, like, prep it seems like it requires or, like, are intimidated by it, and you don't have to be. Like, I think it's very open to different GMing styles. Like, I think you could go very prep heavy with a lot of sentences that are tailored for the thing, but, yeah, it works great in different ways, so definitely go for it.
Hell yeah. Um, very cool. What I kind of know my reasons. What do you think kind of leads you into that that orientation around like kind of more on your feet jamming?
I don't remember shit, and I'm not motivated to do prep outside of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have autism. That's gonna be mine. Yeah.
Um, and also, like, I have, like, an improv background, like, that was kind of how I started getting into designing, um, and what I am drawing on when I'm, like, playing and jamming, so and, like, I mean, this is the thing with tabletop games, this is what I am coming to tabletop games for, is that unpredictability and for
Yeah.
being open to what's happening at the table and, like, following that and seeing where it goes, like, that is what I'm here for, and, like, that doesn't have to be for everyone, like, there are many reasons to play tabletop games, but that is what I am here for, so I'm just chasing that in my GMing style as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I am thinking about the two things I know about your background: improv and music. Are you a jazz pianist? My girlfriend is laughing at me.
Like, in high school, sure, but, like, not outside of like, I did, like, combos and jazz band and stuff, but, and I guess I did a little bit out of that after that too, but not really. I'm not good at it.
Uh-huh.
I do enjoy it a lot. Like, I did really like playing in a combo and playing in jazz band, but I am not good at jazz.
Hell yeah. Well, you know, I think it's cool. I every time I talk to someone on here and it's like, yeah, I do this, this, and this, I'm always really happy because I think like I think it's cool and fun to like kind of recognize how fucking multi-talented teacher of creators are. Like I feel like the people making the most interesting shit have like really interesting experiences. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it helps to do things in the world, like, do a bunch of stuff, experience a ton of things, and bring that into your games. Just yeah, the best thing you can do for your game design is to do a bunch of shit and learn a bunch of things.
touch grass,
Touch grass,
basically.
play
Yeah.
some sports, go outside.
Pet a dog's head. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, how do you feel about getting into the news?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
All right. I think we'll do one or two of these, and then we'll. Yeah, I think we'll do two of these. We'll do. Da, 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 da. I think I'm actually gonna swap these around. We're gonna do the. Yeah. If you're looking at the
Yeah, we'll do
doc,
the
you'll
meaty
see.
one last. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
leave the topicy one for last, and we'll just kind of talk about
Yep.
these kind of interesting little thingies. So the first one is kind of just shilling for my for my friends, which I'm allowed to do. It's my show. Um, Galactic and Going Rogue uh, is going to be up on Kickstarter for 87 minutes, so I highly recommend you grab this. Jess and Seda, who both have done work in this, were on the show. Riley Rethal has been on the show. A lot of friends on of the show involved in this project, and uh, also just like genuinely, I've talked a lot about this. I've talked a lot about this on the show. I think Galactic was a like significant uh like evolution, or like it's not necessarily an evolution. It's a it's like in the fossil record, like it and Wanderhome are kind of like in similar places in like BOB, in the BOB strata, and or like in that strata of BOB, and you kind of see similar traits because they were kind of being made at the same time, um, in some ways. But my point being, I think that there's some really good and interesting and kind of like innovative game design in both of these games, and I highly recommend you support this project. And fucking. Also, you can play Star Wars. What if you played Star Wars, but it was good and there were gay people? Maybe they frauded. It's cool.
uh,
Yeah, good stuff. Right.
yeah,
Do you have any
they're
thoughts on going
yeah. Also have
Galactic and Going Rogue?
what?
Do you have any thoughts on Galactic and Going Rogue?
Not particularly, but like, yeah, I know a lot of people working on it, a lot of friends working on it, and they're all incredible. So yeah.
Hell yeah! All right, and then the slightly more interesting and long one. Uh, 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 Evil Hat released a short little thread, which I will read now because it's really interesting, and I considering I've talked about this game on the show, I'm like really intrigued by this. So this is from Evil Hat. Sad news: we are canceling the Tomb Raider RPG project due to creative differences. We couldn't get our vision to gel with the licensors, so we've chosen to part ways. The stellar team designing this game put their hearts into making this an exciting, dynamic RPG of adventure and exploration. We're proud of the work they've done, and we plan to retool the project as a standalone game with a fresh original setting. You haven't seen the last of it. Um, for those who don't recall, let me actually see if I can ignore all these fucking Firefox front page, like scary fucking articles. Tomb Raider. Let's see if I can. Yeah, Shadows of Truth, which is still up, interestingly. This little promo page. So part of the conceit of this was that it was going to be um, basically like oriented around people like returning artifacts. It is kind of the like post Indiana Jones, post Tomb Raider like framing of artifact hunters. Um, and it had a bunch of folks involved in it. I believe it was Ray Najati who is going to be the lead
Yeah.
designer, and yeah, that it is going to be stripped of these licensed elements and kind of made its own, creature. Um, I'm kind of fascinated by this. I don't know if I have like cohesive thoughts about this yet, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I guess the thing that's poking me is the like licensed versus the typical we're doing genre stuff with the serial numbers filed off. I mean, we just talked about Galactic and Going Rogue. I'm really interested to see what it looks like. Um, and I think honestly, I really like when games are, starting off with that genre space, but then becoming their own thing,
Yeah,
um, not tied to the original work, which, out of necessity, I feel it like has happened in a lot of tabletop games. But that's a really cool thing. So I think it's maybe gonna be better about it, better for it happening. Even though it does suck because I'm sure there would have been a lot of marketing clout and
Yeah, opportunities
money
for
and
those
shit.
folks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I
uh,
so full transparency, I played two of the three Tomb Raider Crystal Dynamics games, and they like slid off of my brain like like a well-oiled table. Um
yeah.
so like I'm kind of relieved that this is not going to be like trying to be like, do you remember the I think that the second game was like there's like a big city of like ancient Russian skeletons that like have like armor and flaming arrows. Does anyone
Oh,
remember what happens in in the Tomb Raider series? I might be confusing it with the Uncharted series, which has very similar uh, elements overall. But yeah, I remember there also some interesting discussion about like what is the you know choosing truth as like a thing that the hunters like these raiders are looking for rather than like treasure, and truth kind of in its own way being this like somewhat like imperial concept, right? um
hmm.
but yeah, it's an interesting thing to see. um I know we'll never know, but I'm like so curious what the creative vision differences were. Like uh that
Yeah,
makes
sure.
my mind race in a real way. There were T-Rexes? What? Oh, you mean in the
What?
Tomb Raider, in original Tomb Raider. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully should I say that? So hopefully with the full death of Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider, we can get one that's at least, you people know my tastes anyway.
Oh my god.
No, in all serious, like I thought it was a pretty like it was a fun portrayal of the character, and I get why they went in that direction. Um, but yeah, it's kind of wild how it's like kind of this like the version of Tomb Raider that exists now has been like around for like a decade, and I feel like I couldn't name one character trait that she has if you like put a gun to my head. Uh, but that's just me being a fucking hater, I guess. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, also I know nothing about Tomb Raider. I know jack shit except for those fucking someone drew those gay ass comics with like Wonder Woman and Lara Croft, right? I
oh
think I've seen
yeah,
those.
uh-huh.
That's it. That's the extent of my knowledge. I just see adventure exploration game from people like Ray, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll play
Yeah,
that.
sounds cool.
Um, and like I'm assuming like I don't know Indiana Jones shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's some
I don't
Indiana
know.
Jones shit. One thing I actually do want to really commend Evil Hat for here is I think in any other like, especially in video games, this would have been like the game's canceled and nobody like this would have been a cancellation and like layoffs of the freelancers that they're
Yeah,
hiring. And this is, I think that it's really cool that they're like still making the game just retooled as a standalone. I think that's like really respectable, and I hope the folks are also getting paid a good amount to do that. I'm sure they are, based on what I've heard about Evil Hat. But yeah,
yeah. They, I mean, yeah, small-ish outfit. They are determined to use whatever they can, even if it has to be repurposed. So yeah,
yeah, hell yeah,
glad it's not dead. Glad that project is not dead.
yeah. Um, and you can play a girl with any size boobs in this game now because it's not it's not licensed.
Oh my
Okay.
any shape?
Any shape or size. I mean, like you could really get
Yeah.
playing a playing like a dog girl with like a 3 rows of them in the in the Rey Najati fucking adventure to adventure game. Um, she did get hurt. She got hurt so much. She fucking there's so many brutal fucking death scenes in those games where it's like you're sliding down a hill and you like run into a spike of metal and her head gets fucking impaled on the metal for like no reason. Uh, anyways, um, this was a silly one. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not though. Anyways, do you want to take a break?
Yeah, sure.
All right. We'll be back in 5, so that'll be at the 47 minute, 047, and see ya in a little bit.
I'll see you later.
Hello, everybody. We are back with the Dovecote with more news, and also I need a bird. A bird is not here, uh, and coming in from beautiful, coming in from like a beautiful, a quiet tomb that has been raided. uh, Cordis the news bird. Oh fuck. There we go. Okay. Um, yeah, the last story is more of a topic one. I mean, I guess arguably there's a nugget of news, which is there's like kind of a thing that started this, but I'm not really. Listen, all sorts of companies that make millions of dollars pay shit rates to designers, and I think that's kind of all I need to say about that. Um, but I think I'm more interested in talking about more broadly about pay rates because there's been some conversation on Blue Sky about it, um, and I don't know. I'm interested to kind of chat a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I because one thing that I am realizing is that I think that like, and I want to be transparent about this because I think it's like good to do so. I think that like what is an acceptable pay rate has kind of run past me in a way that because I don't get paid to make a lot of things and I don't pay people to make a lot of things. It's kind of run past me in the last couple of years, where the last I heard it was like 20 and now it's like 25. Um, and so I've been paying people 20 quite a bit without realizing 20 cents a word to be clear, um, without realizing like the kind of a lot. At least I've heard people say 25, but also I think a lot of the other something I've written down here is let's see what my wording is. Um, yeah. On the other hand, I think sometimes people post things like "pay everyone you work with X, Y, and Z," and it truly depends. And I've put T and D in "truly depends" in capital letters.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about like pay rates as a thing?
Yeah, I mean, in relation to the thing about how pay rates have kind of you haven't kept up is like I think that's been it's like the $15 minimum wage thing. Is that we were arguing for 20 cents back in like 2019
Right. Yeah.
and it's been 6 years and yeah, it really shouldn't even be 20 cents anymore, but like
Mhm.
we still have it at most places. Um so it's a weird complicated situation. I
Yeah.
think that is about generally what I've been paid when I've been doing work. Um, I also had a contract job for a long-term project where I was getting paid hourly, and I much preferred that, which I want to dig into in a bit probably. But just in terms of like word rates and all that, I think like J Dragon and some other folks were talking about how it just sucks to be paid by the word anyway.
Yeah.
Um, it's just kind of arbitrary to be like, "Okay, yeah, this many words." And yeah, like, I think yeah, it really depends on the project, the total budget, how much are you actually going to make from this? And as long as your contributors have good communication with you and are happy, like, it's fine. Um, but yeah, it's I think people should, on the whole, be paid more if they're doing per word, and ideally should not be paid per word and should be paid more.
Yeah, what's your thinking with per hour? Because I think it is a really good approach. Just something that like I don't really have much experience on either end of.
Yeah. So I have different rates for consulting and then working on a thing for like cultural consultation, which I've done, sensitivity reading, um, and also like design editing, consulting, that kind of thing. I've generally done like 50 an hour. Um, there was one Dimension 20 thing that I did 100 an hour because it's fucking, Dimension
Yeah,
20.
they got the money for it.
You pay fucking money for it. So like, yeah, like adjust your pay scale. But if it's just some random fucking person, like 50 makes sense, I think. Um, and for that long-term project, I was getting paid 25 with a $10,000 retainer up front, and then I worked through that and then was getting paid on the hour after that. And I started that job in 2021. Um, and the money kind of ran out last year. Um, and I don't think anyone got any raises or anything in their
Shit.
rates that whole time. So I have complicated feelings about that. Um, because yeah, like there aren't that many opportunities to work on a project like the one I was working on or the one that, brought up this discussion in the first place. Like that is rare, so it feels like you should just kind of accept the pay that they are going to give you. And I mean, to be fair, the job I was doing was doing better than this other project, but
Right.
it's still I think the thing with game design, and especially in my case, was I was like pretty much doing it full time, even though I was technically only working 15 hours a week. Because like the thing with mechanics is like that was how I was making money on my own beforehand, and doing it for a job meant I really didn't have any left in the tank to do it for myself. Um, and also, like when you're thinking about game design and you're maybe not necessarily at a desk writing and working on it, but are still turning it over in your head and thinking about it, and it's taking up a lot of your brain space, even when you're not actually just working on it and being and recording those hours as work done. It's yeah, uh,
Yeah. I was talking to my girlfriend Lilith, who also designs TTRPGs, and because I've been having some trouble with my job recently. Not like I'm not doing poorly. It's hurting me is the problem.
yeah,
um, which is it's like full time like social work, and I I was like I was talking about like yeah I wish I had a role where I was doing like office work and then I could like actually at first I said I wish I was being paid to make TTRPGs. And then I realized like no actually it's not what I want because I would be being paid to make someone else's game. And
hmm
then and then I thought I want a job where I have very few responsibilities and I can sit in an office with very minimal supervision and work on my games while people assume I'm doing actual work. And then I was like, that's not actually what I want. What I actually want is the is the abolition of capitalism. Like
yeah,
fundamentally, what I want is to be free to work on the things that I want to work on and to be taken care of in the act of doing that.
yeah. But barring that miraculous occurrence,
Barring,
job
yeah,
where you have a lot of downtime and like is a decent job, but has a decent amount of downtime as well, and where you can work on your own stuff, is great. That would be nice.
yeah, I want to try and find something that's going to be less intensive, but ideally pays me about the same amount. Which I know is like
Yeah.
kind of like it's very I'm asking for an emails job. Like I want an emails job, um, because fundamentally I think like what I want to be doing is making stuff. But I a part of me like when I'm at home and I have to think about going back to the office, I'm like, but then I get into the office and I'm like, oh right, like it is nice to like force so much myself, at least for like now while I'm young, into like helping people. So It's
Yeah.
any sort of work is going to be fraught because it's all fucking like compelled.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I I've been wanting to like, yeah, find a part-time job that I can do in combination with game design, but it's really hard to do, and like another game design thing is not it's not gonna work out because of, yeah, the reasons that I stated, and
Hmm.
I think the thing I need is like a
Thou hast
physical,
journeyed far.
simple, repetitive job. Um, I used to do inventory night shifts, and those were great because I could just listen to podcasts the whole time and count shit and, get paid for it, and then not use my brain that whole time, and then have plenty left over to do game design. So something like that would be ideal, but it's been really hard to find. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, job market in general right now is, shit. So
Especially for
yeah,
trans
I
people, especially for trans feminine
uh
people. Yeah.
I feel you on the, like, the work being hard too, because like, I did, like, an internship thing at a trans rights campaign at the ACLU in New Hampshire, and they fucking laid off my supervisor who
Oh,
was
fuck.
kind of running that, and I never got paid for shit. Um, and it was just miserable to just, like, sit at, like, hearings for bills and hear all of the fucking shitheads come out, um, and give testimony for all the shit.
Yeah.
And then there was, like, a medical interpreting thing I was doing for a while too, and that's also just miserable.
Hmm.
Um, the medical system is awful, especially when, the institution is, like, Catholic or some shit.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. It's evil.
awful, awful, awful. But, I had a thought that was tied to the topic, and I can't. Oh, the thing you were saying about it truly depends.
Mhm.
Um, so things to consider for everyone out there. When you're deciding on, like, pay rates and, like, how much to pay people, you gotta think about the complexity of the piece
Hmm.
and how long it is, and
Uh-huh.
delivery, and, like, all those should be factors. Like, I worked on the Beam Saber book, doing a
Okay.
bunch of microfiction, like, journal entries as my character from the Beam Saber actual play, um, that Austin ran, and that was a really big project, and I only got paid 20 cents a word, but, like, it was fine. Like, also, this was, like, 2020,
Right, it was a different economy.
yeah, but I was writing almost, like, 6,000 words, and it was, like, you know, short fiction. It was within the confines of the game world and stuff and, like, what we had done in the campaign, but, like, I could write that without having to think about mechanics and shit. Like, that 20 cents a word made sense for that amount of words and, like, the content. Um But for, like, something like an adventure or, like, a playbook or, like, something mechanical like that, you don't want there to be too many words because that makes it harder to use the thing, a lot of the time, and then also they have to, like, think about the mechanics and, like, how it fits in and how it plays, and, like, maybe they're play testing as well, and, like, that should be paid a lot more. And then it depends on the game that you're making it for and, like, how difficult it is to understand the mechanics and get a good grasp on the feel of it, and, like, how intensive the playtesting needs to be. Um, basically, yeah, like, when you're paying people, just really consider the complexity of the thing that you are hiring them for, please, and
Uh-huh.
just do not be like, "Yeah, pay everyone you work with this." It's not it's not that simple. Please just think things through before you hire other people to do work for you. Please.
It truly depends. I just want to acknowledge. Thank you for the raid, mouse wife. My good friend Marcy. Okay, actually, really funny thing. Marcy, who just raided us on Twitch. Um, so Marcy and I and our friend Melodyburst and another friend of ours, we played a game of Fellowship way back when. Probably in
Ooh.
like God, when even was that? That had to be in like 20. Let me see if I can, because I think there's an easy way for me to actually find this. Because if I look at my
Mhm.
earliest messages uh from Marcy, how is there a way you can look at earliest in uh here before like 2020?
It, it should be.
Yeah, here we go. Uh 2019 we played a game of 2019 we played a game of Interstitial. Um and
Hmm.
then we played through that, and then we were kind of trying to figure out what we wanted to play next. And we played one of the games that we played was Stew Pot, like in like maybe 2019, 2020, which is crazy. Um, so shouts out to
Wow,
Marcy, shouts out to Stew Pot. Um,
that's
yeah, pretty cool. Uh, I'm being asked, what story slash project that started this? Only I'll say it was Cosmere. It was fucking it was Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere RPG, featuring well, there's the whole Mormonism thing with that dude that I think is under discussed, despite being like kind of the thing that everyone brings up all the time. I do still think it's like under discussed, and all like Mormonism and right wing like donations. Like he's a fucking Scott Cawthon. People should be like, uh, I know this is not going to get me any jobs. People should be viewing the Cosmere RPG the same way they like view like Harry Potter or Five Nights at Freddy's. I think personally, uh, my opinion, my personal opinion. Um, uh, do we want to do we want to get into the news?
the
Uh,
mail.
the oh, sorry, the mail. I'm like,
The mail.
yeah, the mail. I think the mail is what I meant, probably. Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
totally.
see if we have anything in our mailbox first. Oh, I have not received any questions. People should ask questions in the chat, or send questions to darlingdemoneclipse@gmail.com. Um. Oh yeah, actually, I want to shout something out. Actually, I want to read a Sadist message first. It really is frustrating that the conversation of pay is so flattened to directly compare indie creators who are passing the same $15 around to each other with projects as huge as that lol. Like, yeah, it depends. Yeah. Like, and also, that there's a lot of different situations that one might encounter themselves in. Um, is I guess what I'll say.
There
Uh,
are many situations.
there are so many situations in this life. All right, I wanted to quickly So I wrote a. Some of you may know that I wrote a blog in. Oh no. Okay, I was gonna encourage people to vote in the Crit Awards, but I fear that they've closed. So um, thank you everybody who voted in the Crit Awards for. I'll just fucking say it on Twitch because I think you can really. It's just a question if you get like hate raid for it. Faggot Games, an urgent warning. Thank you all who voted for that. I, I do really hope I win. Like I think it would be really cool. But yeah. If anyone has any questions for me or Takuma or uh anything about Stew Pot or music or music and TTRPGs or uh interstitial campaigns from 2019 or
That's
birds.
interstitial.
Interstitial fucking rules. That Tui's pretty good. I like Tui quite a bit. I'm very
Oh, I
happy
want.
with what they did with that.
Yeah, I did a playbook for Tui, and is that out yet? I don't know if it's out.
Yeah, that's out. Yeah. Interstitial Tui's out.
Oh, I mean the stretch goal playbooks.
Oh, I think they might be just in the book.
Are
Um,
they? Okay, good.
let me find my uh let me find the copy of Interstitial Tui that I obtained from Listen, sometimes if sometimes when you're playing a game with a group of people, one person owns it, and you enjoy
Yeah,
it
no,
together.
that's normal.
Yeah, this happens. Because I want to
It's
see if I can
normal for
find that.
girls.
It's normal for girls. I agree. Um, all right, let's see. Uh, da, da, da. There's the celestial body. There is it the alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hell yeah. Um, all these are in here. They're really fun. It's cool that they did this. For those who don't know, there's a series of playbooks in the game Interstitial 2E that are just like you play a character who is kind of vibe attuned to an existing TTRPG, and those pages are laid out like those TTRPGs. Um, I don't even want to show this on stream because I think like it's so fun to read it in kind of as it is. I'll read the names. You have the Armorister, uh, you have the Beak, the Feather, the Bone, you have the Street Magic, you have the Alone, which is Takuma's playbook, and you have the Celestial Body, which is Celestial Bodies. So people should go buy Interstitial Sui, uh, unlike some people. Uh, so, uh, it's
I
okay.
I don't know any designer who would be like, "Yeah, just one person should buy it in the group," and then also, like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
no one cares about pirating also, but, like, yeah, if you're buying it, just one person, share it around, it's fine.
I just find it really funny to be like, you should check out and buy this game, and be like, yeah, let me go grab my copy that I oh, let me check itch to see if I own this. Oh no, I don't. Let me go look in my discords to find to find the copy that I used to play Nick Valentine against wait, who are the other characters? That is also with Marcy, funnily. Um Marcy is playing, I think, Terezi, and Courtney is playing Vash the Stampede. It's a very
Oh
fun.
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went to we went to On Cinema. We went to Tim Heidecker's On Cinema universe, and
Mhm.
we also went to CW's The Flash, and we're currently in fucking Camp Half Blood uh, from from Percy Jackson. It's a good vibe. Very silly.
Right.
Fondly remembering we had Riley Hopkins as a special guest on It's Up to... That's so true. Riley Hopkins has been. Riley Hopkins also friend of the show. Uh, yeah, the aforementioned $15 being passed around exactly. With inflation, it's about $30, but yeah. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I am taking them as they come. Do you have anything that you would like to talk about that we have not gotten around to talking about?
Um, maybe there's you mentioning faggot games reminded me that I've been like, "This is the year I'm gonna go sicko mode." I've been thinking about that. Um,
Hell yeah.
I've just,
Oh
like,
shit.
been reading and, like, watching a lot of stuff that is, like, full of, like, blood and pus and sex in ways that are really fun and gory and, like, also really intense, and really good.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of what one thing that I saw this image recently that's like it's like it's like girlhood is a spectrum, and it's one end is like a heart with a sword like with like a sword and a crown, and it says uh like devotion and eternal love, and the other is like just a slab of meat, and it says like violence and like carnal desire. And I feel like I've been really happy to see the amount of like faggot games that are in the the latter category because I lean so hard into the former in my work. Um, I'm kind of a softie, but in a way where it's like I want girls to get hypnotized. um,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm very excited to see what you do with that. I'm gonna be doing I think I'm gonna be calling it Super Faggot Jam in August, which is like a probably August September, where it's gonna be like a 2 month jam where it's like put your whole pussy into something basically. Um,
Okay.
and I would love to see uh, if you would want to throw anything in there, or you know, I'm excited to see what you work on in that space. I suppose is my general point. Um,
Hell yeah.
oh, we have a question from Serving Phoenix. Funniest TTRPG character that you've grown deeply attached to? Oh, fuck.
I
Think
have
about
one.
that. Being a little guy.
Oh, wait. No, I do. There is an episode of Spindle Wheel Stories, the Spindle Wheel podcast,
Mhm.
um, where Sasha and I played Meet Me in the Field of Honor at Dawn. Um, and the character we played two just like awful shitty wizards
Oh,
having a wizard duel on top of a train. And my character was named Slutto Quust.
Slutto Quest. That's awesome.
And honestly, that game was really fucking good. I'm very proud of that. That is like maybe the best actual play I have done. Um I wonder if I can find the episode.
Hell yeah. Oh, I think I have mine while you hunt that down. I ran a game of Star Wars Saga Edition, which is a kind of bad Star Wars 4E, like, or D&D 5E, but it's Star Wars. That was like official. Um,
Hmm.
and there was a Jawa NPC that the player character saved from a like Star Destroyer called Dewsick, Dewsicc, um, and he was just this funny little guy, but he like became one of the player characters like cohorts and became like insanely strong, um, and so uh his nickname wound up being Do Six Stunts because he would just fucking like annihilate people, and it was just like he didn't speak. He just kind of spoke Jawa. He kind of just you know made little fucking creature noises. And it was good. It was like a character that the group was deeply endeared to, which is always really fun. Oh hell yeah, get on there, Sasha or no, friend of the show. Uh, and also I would say Sasha Renault has been very like involved in like the Fag game server, which has been really cool. Um, so shouts out to Sasha for being a general cool person. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Any other questions? We're taking them. I'm taking all comers. Personally. Um, did you have any? Do you have anything else you want to talk about as well?
Mm, oh, I was thinking about other big projects and Realis and slice of life stuff. Um, which was the because I was talking about wanting to do a mini games based campaign thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, I have been chasing a like modern slice of life game like that that's like
Ooh.
kind of magical. For years, I have not succeeded yet. That is the other thing that I am like picking away at. Um, at one point, I was like, what if I wrote a mini game for every card in a deck of cards, and that
Oh
was you played
god.
every week, and you played that for a whole year. Um, I'm thinking about it. That might be the form that it ends up taking. That might be the thing that makes sense, but we'll see.
I'm this might be like a complete misfire, but the immediate thing I'm thinking of when you say like magical slice of life that represents an entire year, I'm like Planet or Canon, like some of those like really fucking horny ass like mid 2000 like mid to early 2000s like harem animes.
Oh my god. I fucking I tried so hard to watch Clannad when I was in high school, and I just could not because I fucking hated the art style so much,
It
and I think I really
sucks.
dodged a bullet. But I think my main pull for stuff like this is, Aria the animation right now.
Okay.
Um, that's
I
really
have to look into
a
that.
lot. But I mean, yeah, the, like, slice of life harem rom-com
Okay.
manga, there's so many of them, like, that DNA is in there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deny that. Just not that one, but, other ones definitely.
Just better ones.
They're not better, they just look nicer than Clannad.
Right.
Yeah.
Aesthetically nicer ones. Hell yeah.
But I mean, I have better taste now, hopefully. Hopefully.
My taste has not
Um,
evolved. I still listen. I I'm the same. I'll never change in this life. I'll die and I'll be thinking about my damn Legos.
have you read I'm the Only One for Miyaji Miyuki?
No, I'm unfortunately not much of a manga reader as much as I feel like my life would be improved if I were.
That's fair. That one is just directly what if we did that but Yuri, and I'm enjoying it a lot so far because the art style's good and the girls are cute, and I do unfortunately love "Oh, wait, we were childhood friends. I met you when we were 5, and then I moved away, and now we're meeting again." I love that shit.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess the one that's getting an anime, I think this summer is I hate the English title. It's "There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover
Oh
Unless,"
God.
which is
Unless
another Yuri version of these, which the manga's good. I have no idea how the show's gonna turn out, but
I think someone should do one of those, some of those, one of those like, oh, we were childhood best friends. What if we dated, type things. But it's like memory alteration hypno, like yeah. I think there's some interesting. I think there's
yeah.
some unique frontiers to be explored there. Um, but hell yeah. All
You could do
right.
that in Toy, right?
Oh yeah, you can absolutely do that in Tin Toy. I've been doing a game of Tin Toy with one of my friends, and it's been really fun. I'm playing I'm playing the victim, the subject, I think is what they call it. I'm trying to figure out what the what is the PC term for what for what the captor does to the subject in Tin Toy. Um, but I've been playing this like Imperial. I mean, it's a trope that I kind of hate, but I think it's like really hot, unfortunately, which is like
Mhm.
the Imperial pilot gets slowly corrupted by the rebel and like turned into just like a complete like libertine slut. Um, and so that's kind of what we're playing with. Because like he got defeated and then she like installed something in his spine and then kind of left him to go back to HQ and is slowly corrupting him. It's a it's a good time. I think that the core conceit of Tin Toy is just like really really fun. Like even if you're kind of just playing it like because we're playing it very like cheesecake, but if you're playing it for like horror, there's a lot there in terms of just like the potential to completely alter someone and like the ways that the mechanics enable each player to like give and take different pieces of the memories, I think is just like really exciting. Highly recommend people give that a shot.
Yeah, I need to play Tin Toy with a sicko.
Hell yeah. Let me also really quickly post that in the chat, and I think we'll call it a night. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Is where can people find you? Because I've posted your itch, but is there anything else? Do you have a website or anything folks can go to?
Um. Oh, I have a Bandcamp, which is also narrowedhome.bandcamp.com. There will
Hell
be more
yeah.
music there in the near future. But there's some old like podcast stuff that I did in one of the game soundtracks.
Sick.
I'm on Blue Sky at the same as my itch, narrowedhome.itch.io. That's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. We're gonna raid someone as one does on the Twitch type website.
Hell yeah.
Who the hell am I raiding? Uh, I'm going to raid Vectroid Live. If you've ever heard the that one, I don't mention this in Vectroid's chat because she's fucking sick of hearing about it. But just for your frame of reference, if you've ever heard the Vaporwave song that goes bow 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 bow, like the Vaporwave song, Vectroid made that. But also Vectroid does a lot of other cool shit. Has been doing really cool and interesting art since the creation of that and before the creation of that song. So yeah, go check out Vectroid's stream. Last I saw, Vectroid was like fucking around with like a so Vectroid streams in 3x4, and was fucking around with a thing where like her VTuber and the like subtitles of her stream were like bouncing in time with music that she was playing, and that was like, and then she like framed herself in like a car, so it looked like the like car had really loud speakers. um and she like adjusted the lighting on her VTuber model so like it like fit the lighting of the scene. It's really overstimulating, but if you can survive that, you will encounter some really interesting like experimentation in art. So go check out Vectroid stream. um yeah, bye bye.
Remember, if you don't like what you see, you can change it. It's up to you, really. Goodbye, good luck, and have fun!